Imagine a world where the smell of freshly toasted bread doesn't trigger a sense of panic about your blood sugar levels. For millions of people living with diabetes, bread has become public enemy number one. It is often the first thing kicked off the grocery list and the food that causes the most guilt. But what if I told you that the war on bread is based on a misunderstanding? The truth is that not all loaves are created equal. Some are indeed biological time bombs that will send your glucose soaring, but others can actually be powerful allies in your health journey. Today, we are going to rewrite the rules of engagement. We are going to navigate through the deceptive marketing and the nutritional science to discover how you can keep the comfort of a sandwich without the consequence of a spike. We are going to uncover the imposters hiding in the bread aisle and introduce you to the unsung heroes that deserve a place on your plate. To understand why this matters, we have to look at what happens inside your body when you eat a slice of standard bread. Picture your digestive system as a highway. When you eat a slice of white bread, it is like driving a sports car on an open road with no speed limits. The carbohydrates are broken down into sugar almost instantly, and they rush into your bloodstream all at once. This causes a traffic jam of glucose that your insulin struggles to clear. This is the spike that leaves you feeling tired and foggy later. Our goal today is to find breads that act like an obstacle course. We want breads that force your digestion to slow down, taking the scenic route so that energy is released slowly and steadily. The biggest factor in turning that highway into an obstacle course is fiber. Fiber is the great regulator. It is the bouncer at the club that controls how many sugar molecules get in at one time. When you are shopping, you want to look for a specific golden ratio. For every 10 grams of carbohydrates, you want at least 2 grams of fiber. If you can find a ratio where the carbs are only 5 times higher than the fiber, you have found a winner. But you have to be careful because the grocery store is full of traps. Let us start by clearing out the villains of this story. The most obvious offender is traditional white bread. It is stripped of everything that makes wheat valuable. The bran and the germ, which hold the vitamins and fiber, are removed, leaving behind pure starch. Eating a slice of white bread is biologically very similar to eating a spoonful of table sugar. It dissolves in your mouth and hits your bloodstream in minutes. But the deception goes deeper. You might reach for something labeled wheat bread or multigrain, thinking you are making a smarter choice. Often, you are not. Many brown breads are just white bread in a disguise, colored with molasses or caramel to look healthy. The term multigrain just means they used more than one type of powder. It does not mean whole grain, unless the package explicitly says 100% whole grain or whole wheat. You are likely buying a refined product that will spike your sugar just as fast as the white stuff. Another trap to avoid is the gluten-free section. If you do not have celiac disease, gluten-free bread can sometimes be worse for your diabetes. To replicate the texture of gluten, manufacturers often use tapioca starch, rice flour, or potato starch. These are high glycemic ingredients that digest incredibly fast. Unless they are based on almond flour or other nut flours, gluten-free loaves are often just starch bombs waiting to explode. And of course, we have the sweet breads. The croissants, the brioche, and the bagels. These are not just bread, they are pastries. They are loaded with extra fat and sugar to make them taste rich, but they offer zero protection against glucose spikes. Treat them as desserts, not as meal staples. Now that we have cleared the imposters from the shelf, let us talk about the champions. These are the breads that fight back. The first hero on our list is sprouted grain bread. You might know it by brands like Ezekiel. This bread is different because it is made from grains that have been allowed to sprout before being ground up. This process changes the game entirely. It breaks down some of the starch and unlocks nutrients that are usually locked away. It is a living food. Because it creates a flourless product, it has a much lower impact on your blood sugar. It is dense, chewy, and packed with protein and fiber. It does not sit on a shelf for weeks because it is real food, so you will often find it in the freezer section. Next up is the ancient defender known as sourdough. Real sourdough is unique because of how it is made. It uses a fermentation process involving wild yeast and good bacteria. During this slow fermentation, the bacteria actually eat some of the carbohydrates and sugars in the flour before you even take a bite. They also produce lactic acid, which interacts with the starch to slow down your digestion. This means that a slice of genuine sourdough will often cause a much smaller rise in blood sugar than a slice of conventional yeast bread, even if the carb count looks similar on paper. Just make sure you are buying real sourdough from a bakery or checking the ingredients, because some commercial brands just add vinegar flavor without doing the actual fermentation. If you want something with heavy-duty protection, look for authentic pumpernickel or dark rye bread. I am not talking about the fluffy bread that has some caraway seeds thrown in. I am talking about the dense, heavy bricks of bread often found in European cuisine. Rye flour is special because it contains a type of fiber that becomes gel-like in your stomach. This gel slows down the emptying of your stomach, which keeps you full longer and prevents that sugar rush. Pumpernickel, specifically, is made with coarse rye meal and fermented sourdough starter, giving you a double layer of defense. For those who are looking for a modern solution, flax and chia seed breads are incredible options. Seeds are the ultimate weapon against diabetes because they are almost entirely fiber and healthy fats. When a bread is made primarily from flax meal or almond flour, the carbohydrate count drops drastically. Some of these keto-friendly breads have barely any impact on blood glucose at all. However, a word of caution is needed here. While they are low in carbs, they are often high in calories due to the fat content. If weight loss is part of your diabetes management plan, you will want to enjoy these in moderation. But strictly for blood sugar control, they are top tier. We also cannot forget about quinoa and oat breads. Oats contain a fiber called beta-glucan, which has been clinically shown to improve insulin sensitivity and lower cholesterol. A bread made with whole rolled oats or quinoa flour offers a nutty flavor and a hearty texture that stands up well to toppings. These grains digest slowly and provide a steady stream of energy rather than a flood. Now, identifying the right bread is only half the battle. How you eat it matters just as much. Think of carbohydrates as someone who shouldn't be walking alone at night. They need a chaperone. Never eat a slice of bread naked. If you eat a piece of toast by itself, you are inviting a spike. But if you dress that toast up with healthy fats and proteins, you change the metabolic equation. Spread some avocado on it. Add a slice of turkey or a poached egg. Dip it in olive oil or almond butter. The fat and protein act as a buffer, further slowing down digestion. A slice of sprouted bread with avocado and an egg is a completely different meal to your body than that same slice of bread with sugary jam. It is also important to listen to your own body. We are all unique bio-individual machines. One person might handle sourdough beautifully, while another does better with rye. The best laboratory is your own kitchen. If you have a glucose monitor, test yourself. Eat a specific type of bread and check your levels 1 and 2 hours later. Your data is more valuable than any general advice because it tells you exactly how your specific metabolism reacts. Let us also dispel the myth that you need to make everything from scratch. While baking at home is fantastic because you control the ingredients, not everyone has the time. When you are in the supermarket, ignore the claims on the front of the package. The front is for marketing. The back is for truth. Turn it over and scan the ingredient list. You want a short list. You want the first word to be whole. You want to see recognizable grains and seeds. If you see high fructose corn syrup, hydrogenated oils, or a list of chemicals that looks like a science exam, put it back. Managing diabetes is not about deprivation. It is about strategic substitution. It is about understanding that food is information, and you want to send your body the right signals. You can enjoy a warm, crunchy piece of toast on a Sunday morning. You can have a sandwich for lunch. You just have to upgrade the quality of the fuel. By swapping out the white, fluffy, sugar-laden loaves for dense, nutrient-rich, fibrous options like sprouted grain, sourdough, or flax bread, you are taking control. You are moving from a passive victim of diet culture to an active manager of your health. Remember that food should be a source of joy, not fear. When you choose the right bread, you aren't cheating on your diet. You are nourishing your body with complex carbohydrates that provide sustained energy. So next time you walk down that bakery aisle, walk with confidence. You know who the imposters are, and you know who the heroes are. Grab that heavy, dark loaf of pumpernickel or that frozen bag of sprouted toast. Take it home, toast it well, pile it high with healthy toppings, and enjoy every single bite knowing that you have made a choice that supports your long-term health. You have the power to rewrite your relationship with food, one slice at a time. Thank you for listening, and here is to your health.